that mindset shift, I think, has made me better equipped to talk to potential clients about why things cost the way they do. Saying that with confidence, feeling like, putting me a little bit more in like the power position, or the place of someone who runs a business and has valuable product to offer versus, a freelancer just trying to compete with all the other freelancers for this job and, feeling not very empowered being in that position, and now feeling like, I feel more like people are coming to me.
Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Hi. So I am Jessica Lohman from Ethical Brand Marketing, and today I'm going to talk to Stacey Shaller. And what we're going to talk about today is the past few weeks, couple of months since middle of November. Stacey has been a participant of Marketing by Nature, and that is an 8-week live program that helps eco-creatives, as I call them, nature-loving creatives, attract the right mission-aligned clients. So they learn the right marketing, ethical marketing, and managing skills to be able to attract those clients that they want to help serve. And so Stacey has thankfully decided to come on today and talk about her experience in the program and what she has been doing since then. And let's start off, Stacey. Tell us what you do and just give us a little introduction about yourself.
Okay. I'm Stacey. I am a graphic designer. I've been doing that for a little over 10 years now. And I also am a nature-loving person. So I really wanted to try to combine my profession and my passion and somehow do design work for mission and value-aligned clients.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I love it. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
And you were one of the first early adopters of Marketing by Nature. And can you please tell us why you joined and if you had a problem that you wanted to solve back then? Just tell us that.
Yeah. So for most of my career, have either been working with advertising agencies or in-house with corporate companies. And I did spend about a year and a half freelancing full time. And it was not what I thought it was going to be. It was nice to have, my seemingly freedom. It felt like I was free in certain ways, but if you don't know how to attract the right types of clients, you end up with a lot of pretty low paying gigs. If you feel like a gig worker more than, someone with a career that I spent 5 years in school trying to achieve. And I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to go after the types of clients I wanted. I dreamed of working with eco-friendly clients or wildlife conservation nonprofits. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to get in there and get those people to want to come to me and build a business. I just knew how to, use freelancer sites and creative recruiters and get just kind of these odd jobs that didn't pay that much and left me feeling like I had to take every single one of them because the next month I might not have anything. And it just felt like stressful all the time.
Yeah, I hear you. That's that stuck in the feast-or-famine cycle, right? Like some months are really good, and then you're like, yes, and then some months are like, ooh.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that problem now, going into it new? Because you are working still for a company, right?
Yep. Yeah, I still am working my corporate design job, but after taking the Marketing by Nature program, now I have a better understanding of how to figure out and market myself to the clients that I want. And I think psychologically, I still kind of need to overcome some of the desires to want to just take whatever comes to you and accept whatever dollar amount they say they're going to give you. But what I've learned is how to set standards and set boundaries and know that in doing that, that will help attract the right client and not repel everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. This money, the way we view money
Yeah.
as a society, everybody grows up differently and has a different kind of money mindset or relationship with money. But I feel like that is one of the major struggles for entrepreneurs, especially nature loving, empathic women,
Yeah.
creatives, like especially us, like, because there's so many reasons why. However, I feel like money is the same as marketing. It's all energy anyway, and it's all about, they're both very positive things. However, they've been used and abused so much that it can give them a bad rap. And when you were thinking about joining, I think we talked, in September or October. When you were thinking about joining, were you hesitant at all to join?
A little bit, because I had just come off a different coaching program and it was okay. And I thought it was going to be like life changing and it really wasn't. And so, yeah, I didn't want to make the same mistake again. If I was going to invest my own money into coaching and some sort of marketing program, I wanted to feel like I was going to walk away like really knowing what I'm doing.
Do you have that feeling now?
Now I do. Yeah. I mean, there's still, some of those like psychological things that will take time to overcome. But I definitely feel like your program was way more comprehensive and in depth and like really pulled apart all the little threads versus the program I did before, just kind of like skimmed the surface and really didn't dig deep into how to do marketing and how to start a business, which is something I think a lot of us, especially if you're a creative, like I didn't learn that. I went to art school. I studied painting. Nobody taught me how to set prices and how to, calculate your revenue goals and
that's true. That's true. In fact, the school system just doesn't really prepare us for being an entrepreneur or business owner at all. It prepares us for being an employee.
Yeah.
Totally. Like whether you're in high school or college. Yeah. So I guess that's also one of the reasons why not many people do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It seems very daunting and scary.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also a lot of, especially creatives, like they go into it, and I'm one of them too. I did this too. 11 years ago, I did this too. And like going into it and saying, okay, well, I could do this, this, and this, and this. I have these skills. Yeah, I'll just put them on my website and things will come. I had the marketing part down. However, there were a lot of other business things that I just missed, like just totally did not even think about. And it's a big learning curve. And, a lot of creatives, we just want to create. Right.
Right.
Business stuff.
Yeah.
But actually what I'm hoping to do in this course is actually, getting you guys excited about, seeing the money part, like seeing it in actual numbers and stuff like that, and actually playing with it a little bit, because I think that's inspiring and motivating. And what do you feel was your biggest win during this program?
At some point, I started to feel, and it was towards the end, it was like all of the pieces were starting to like fit together. And I felt like as I started to reach out to people, people wanted to talk to me. And I felt like the niche that I chose and the work that I do, that was validated every time I talked to somebody. They were like telling me, oh, this industry, we need people like you. And they were really excited about it. And I felt like there was just something I like can't even describe it really. There was just like this feeling of that I was on the right path and I chose something where people like me are needed. And it's just about getting in front of those potential clients. And if I can figure that out, it'll happen. And I felt like I was just on the right path.
Yeah.
Instead of feeling like I'm just floating around, like trying to get people to hire me.
That's great. Can you tell us about your niching down process? I know that's always a very difficult thing. So if you could just talk us through how you went about doing it, because that is one of the lessons it's the second lesson,
Yeah.
the second week that we worked on, and there were a lot of emotions and a lot of questions and challenges. But yeah, just walk us through how you did that, overcame those.
Yeah. That I think turned out to be one of those key things that was really helpful because in the last program I did, just being focused on sustainability, according to them, was enough of a niche. And
Mm.
then when I joined Marketing by Nature, you told us that is not a niche. You have to pick a thing within sustainability. And if you still have the recording of that call, I think all of our faces were like, what? And it was scary at first because, you don't want to just pick one thing. I was like, I want to do this and I want to work with this. And this is a brand I would love to work with. And this is a thing I would love to work with. But what made me feel better about it was I remember you said, we're going to pick a thing now and you'll learn how to do that. And then you can apply that to like another thing. If you want to do something outside of this niche, you're not trapped here forever.
Right.
And once like I kind of absorbed that, it was easy because I had already stumbled upon this idea of regenerative agriculture and how that's changing the food system and what that could mean for climate change. And I right away was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think I could focus on and feels like it's kind of starting to boom,
Yeah.
which felt like, something that would be advantageous for someone starting a business to find a thing that was not oversaturated yet.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it's going to be an incredible industry. I'm really excited about it. I'm very excited about it. So, would you say that was also related to your biggest takeaway?
I mean, at first, yeah, like at first I wasn't sure. I knew I cared a lot about it and I was excited about it. But then as time went on, I felt like because I had this very specific niche, I had more of an audience to talk to instead of talking to a void. And I felt like it was just easier to find connections and to find people to reach out to. And that was like a shared thing that those people wanted to talk about. And it was just making everything easier because it was broken down more and it was specific. And so, I knew what I knew what information I needed. I knew what answers to questions I needed to be asking and where to find those people. I started finding podcasts and like micro communities that all are around this thing. And so it just felt like all of a sudden there was this like pool of people that could potentially be my clients.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. It's so much easier to directly speak to them, to help them directly. You know their problems, you know what their challenges are. And yeah, you can even, gain so much information about their clients. And, with your designs, then you can help, inspire their clients to, engage with them. I mean, yeah, there's there's a lot of advantages to niching down. So that's why I'm like such an advocate for it. I mean, I'm also like, I understand the, wanting to be a generalist and knowing, something about everything. Like, I think there is definitely something there. However, it's just easier. It's easier when you're starting out, especially when you're starting out, to start with one thing, concentrate on that one thing, and then branch out. right?
Right.
Yeah. What was the most important mindset shift that you had and are now incorporating into your business or your daily routine or whatever it is?
Yeah. I think for me, that mindset shift was moving away from feeling like I need your job or I need you to hire me and into you need me to do this work for you. And feeling like what I do is highly valuable and really does generate revenue for companies and is worth the prices that I would like to be charging. Those prices are not crazy or ridiculous. That mindset shift, I think, has made me better equipped to talk to potential clients about why things cost the way they do.
Mm.
Saying that with confidence, feeling like, putting me a little bit more in like the power position, or the place of someone who runs a business and has valuable product to offer versus, a freelancer just trying to compete with all the other freelancers for this job and, feeling not very empowered being in that position, and now feeling like, I feel more like people are coming to me and they want me to help them. And
Exactly. Ah, that's
yeah,
good. That's so good. And was there like one thing or what was the one thing that you found most useful in this program, what you learned?
I want to say it was the niching down. When I like really think about it, that was probably the biggest thing
Yeah.
I think led to all the like smaller things. And I just think the combination of everything kind of adds up to this place where you know what you're doing, you know how to get what you need, and you are now more so in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Do you have any like specific examples of how you overcame a challenge in your business that you learned from our time in marketing by nature? Has anything come up in the past few weeks or anything?
I would say a challenge I overcame was learning how to make content that would actually do something for me, versus before I would just like make kind of fake design projects and I would post them on Instagram hoping that that would generate something. But um, through marketing by nature, I learned I don't even use Instagram anymore, really. I make things now based on, what problem does my client have and how would I make a thing to kind of answer to that problem. And it just feels a lot less like I'm posting into a void of who knows who and just random people. And maybe they're people that would be great clients for me, but a lot of them probably aren't. And it's so much more targeted and specific. I know where to post them. I have specific audiences to post them in front of. I found other ways to make content that's relevant and can get me in front of the right audience. That's not just posting things on social media, which can be really frustrating and unproductive. So, yeah, I think I would say I feel like the content that I make and the things I post are productive and feel targeted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Cause yeah, there's a lot of noise out there, right? So yeah, if they
Mhm.
get results, that's wonderful. And I know it's still early and marketing does take time. It definitely takes time. And it's not like you learn it over a couple of weeks and then bam, you're, an instant millionaire.
Yeah.
Marketing doesn't work like that usually. So, but did you get any tangible results during or since you started marketing by nature in your niche?
Yeah. My network has completely changed. Like my LinkedIn network has taken almost like a 180 as far as like who's in there. And there are definitely people in my niche. And even if they're not necessarily directly clients, they're people that are just in this space. So they know people, they care about what I'm saying, so they interact with it. It's no longer just a void of whoever, whatever people. So that I think is a tangible thing. And I have gotten a few actual inquiries now from people who found me online somehow or that I met at an event. So I have, you know, deals now that I'm working through and potential clients that I'm currently talking to. So that's a big one.
A big one. Did you
Yeah.
see a big? Oh, right. That's great.
Mhm.
And didn't you also get a client, even just a small one in that niche?
Yep, I got a small one. She's value aligned. She didn't have hardly any budget, and I was able to get her to come up a little bit from that. And I felt like, I was able to kind of help her understand why things cost what they cost. And she like happily signed the proposal I sent her. And it was just like never really an issue about the price. And she's super easy to work with and she trusts me. She like anything I say, like, here's why I did what I did, or here's why I chose this color. She's like, oh, okay, great. And she just accepts it and is happy about it. Instead of before, I had a lot of clients where, like, again, I was not really in the driver's seat. They were dictating to me what colors it should be and how to really do the work that I'm trained and allegedly being hired to do. And like, that's another shift. I think I'm starting to see now where people they already come to me like knowing that I'm the expert and they let me tell them, here's what we're going to do for you. And yeah.
Yay. That's really good. So, yeah. Do you feel that this program has contributed to your personal growth and development as a creative professional?
1,000%. Yeah. It's some of the same things. Before I was, you know, felt like I was just scrambling to get any job that I could take, or I was just trying to convince myself that, my day to day 9 to 5 doesn't have to be that great. As long as it pays the bills, I can do the stuff I'm passionate about on the side. And that was kind of the story I was telling myself. And then I just got so fed up that I decided, no, I have to do this. I just don't know how else I can really live a full, fulfilled life if I'm not spending all the time I spend on my work serving clients that I feel like share this value. And it felt kind of like, I was doing the things that I do to make a better impact. Like I try to shop at secondhand stores and I recycle everything and I compost. But now using this work that I do to serve these clients feels like I'm contributing so, so much more than I ever could just doing these things in my own home by myself. So that I think has made me feel, like I have like a mission and given me some sense of purpose. And then in terms of just purely being a business owner, even though I haven't gotten to a place yet where I can leave this corporate job, I think having my own business and being fully in control it's already just so much more empowering. And I feel like there's really no limit to what I could possibly do with this. And I can make the money I want to make. I can work the hours I want to work. I can be at home in Chicago, or I could take work with me and go to anywhere, Timbuktu if I want to, and work from there. And yeah, just knowing that that's on the horizon is making me feel so much more empowered, I guess is the word I would use for all of it. And even just in my sales calls, I can feel myself becoming more comfortable talking about money and better equipped to just on the fly be able to handle certain business challenges that come up in a sales call. Like when this woman told me I only have X amount and it was like nothing. And then, I felt like I was able to just kind of like handle it and, make a good business call that led to her being willing to spend a little bit more.
Very
Yeah.
good. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Can you describe the ongoing support and resources available through Marketing by Nature that have helped sustain your momentum and growth beyond? Also, we've been, the last live session was February 2nd. So it's
Mhm.
only been a few weeks, but
Mhm.
so since then, I guess beyond the program duration,
Yeah.
this program is ongoing. You're in it for life, and it'll continue to develop. Um,
Yeah. Um, well, I still use all these tools. So I have them all just bookmarked in my browser and they're just kind of open all the time. And so whenever I like sit down to do something, I have these tools to go back to and to, you know, use so that I'm like not kind of falling back into this place of like making things that really don't matter or aren't going to do anything for me. So
yeah,
um, that's been helpful. I continue to refine some of those things and use them in a way where they're not just living in Miro or Google anymore, but like applying them to my website and changing my
mm,
LinkedIn profile and thinking about how to create some sort of lead magnet or things to put out there that will bring people to me. And all of those tools are things that I use pretty much every time that I sit down to do almost anything for my business.
yeah,
So I'm always bouncing around between like a few of them at any given time.
yeah. Okay.
The other thing is we're still connected on Discord. So the small group we were in, people still ask questions, post resources. So that's also like an ongoing form of support. And the four of us are still planning to meet once a week. We were chatting kind of off
Ah,
Discord about how we
okay.
miss our little like hangout. So, and how it would be nice to still just check in and kind of talk to each other about how things are going. And so we're planning to continue to do that.
Good. Make up
Yeah.
like a mastermind or an accountability,
Hmm.
accountability
Yeah.
partner program or something. Yeah, that's good. Cool.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone who wants to integrate sustainability and ethical practices into their existing marketing strategies, but doesn't know where to start?
I would say set yourself up early, even if it seems like you don't really need that yet, because if you don't have your systems in place, when you do start getting people, you'll be kind of scrambling and you might not do things very efficiently. And I think efficiency usually is more sustainable. And I think it sets you up to be able to have more ethical marketing conversations and allow you to put yourself out there in a way where you know and you understand why you're doing what you're doing and that it's meaningful and it's valuable to someone and not just a random price that you don't know why you chose that, you just chose it, which maybe isn't the most ethical. But if you've done the groundwork and the research, you will not just be charging random amounts of money, and you'll be able to feel confident that what you're offering is very much worth the value of what you're charging. And yeah, I think um, you can trust that you're not just kind of leading people astray or kind of manipulating people into buying something that maybe they don't really need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So helping people make a conscious choice.
Yeah. And in a way where you don't need these kind of icky tactics that other people use. Like even that former coach that I used, she did that. She would, you know, say the price was for a short period of time less than it was going to be. And like now that I've been following her for a while, like that's always the price. It's not
Mm,
that much less.
mm,
It's always discounted for some reason. And then, there's all these bonuses and upsells and things that and she's a very nice person. I don't want to like
yeah.
shit on her. I think that's just how she was taught that, oh, if you include this like bonus thing, I ended up getting one of her bonus things for free. It's like a notebook and it's just a notebook. Like, I don't really need this. And
At least it was for free.
yeah, I mean, because I was part of the program, so she's like, oh, I'm going to grandfather you into this and send you this book. And she was making such a big deal out of the book. And I got it. And I was like, great paper that I don't need. And now I have to like find a use for it because I don't want to just throw it out. And so yeah, you do not need to do these things. You can effectively sell your services without using these like slimy kind of tactics to make people feel like they're getting a deal or they're getting these like bonus things that they really don't need.
Yeah. Who do you think would benefit most from going through this program?
I think anyone who feels and knows they're trapped in that feast or famine kind of cycle and they are not getting the types of clients that are treating them like they are the expert and they're not able to charge people what they should be, I think would be great for this program.
Yeah. Thank you. And what would you say to someone who's on the fence about joining?
I would tell them, if you don't join, you're probably not really going to change your situation. And if you just trust the process and you do the work, you will feel like it was worth the investment that you're going to make. And if nothing else, just having support and having someone who can look at something and say, okay, here's how to change it, or here's how to make it better.
Moving forward, how will you take your learnings from marketing by nature to reach your revenue and impact goals?
I have the tools. I'm working on a system, and I think that will allow me to charge the amounts that I need to charge to hit those revenue goals. I have my revenue goals documented.
Yeah.
So it's not just something kind of in my mind that I don't really like know or I kind of made up. It's something that I have on virtual paper and I have, it all broken down into all its little parts. And I have an understanding of now of what like I should be charging and what I need to be charging for different types of services. I've been continuing to refine those services and just having all these tools. They're not things that you use once and then you're done. They're things that, I keep adding people to my outreach list and I have the content library that I'm like constantly adding to and using and, using the Miro boards. And then if I want to branch out, like we talked about earlier, now I have these tools that I could just make copies of and kind of do this whole process all over again.
Let's see. Is there anything else you would like to say about the program or about?
Yeah, the program is super in depth, really breaks things down. You really feel it feels more like a class where you're, taking information, digesting the information, and then putting it back into your own forms that actually work. And now you've learned something and versus just watching like a video, which is, I think, what a lot of people maybe try to do first is, bounce around on YouTube or watch TikTok or something trying to learn. But I think in your program, you really helped us learn the information for ourselves. So now we know how to do it. And I think you are always like very willing and happy to offer extra support or spend time where needed to get us over hurdles. And
Mhm.
nothing felt kind of extraneous or unnecessary. It all like fell into place at some point, even if at first some things feel kind of like, why am I doing this? Like you will understand why you're doing them. And yeah, just knowing like going forward, there's always an opportunity to talk to you, and you're just constantly giving us stuff, resources, and valuable tips and tricks. And now I have, these other students that I was in the program with that I'm sure I'll be in touch with now, like, forever. And
Yeah.
they're people I can collaborate with or just get on Zoom with and chat. It's like a whole support system. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining and being a super active participant and going out there. Because I know like usually when people, the strategic part is all good. And then once they have to go out to talk to clients, it's like, okay, then they stop.
Yeah.
That's when they stop. And so there's a lot of coaching involved in motivational talks and stuff. But you were like, went right out there. You were like, boom, I'm going out there and I'm doing this. So, and you did. And so I am so proud of you and I am so grateful for you and the others. And it was a really great experience and still is. And yeah. Would you be willing to tell us where people can reach you if they want new branding, if they want to rebrand, or if they are starting their own
Yeah.
business? Yeah.
Yeah. You can find me on my website, which is staceyshallerdesigns.com. I'm also on LinkedIn. If you search me there, you'll find me. I'm happy to talk to anyone if they want to know more about the program
Cool. Well,
or
thank you.
need services too.
Yeah. Yeah. I will link up your information and we'll see if we can get some regenerative food companies
Yeah.
CPG companies to contact you. Yeah. And yeah, if anybody listening, if you have contacts in the regenerative CPG consumer product goods sector, then please reach out to Stacey or please let them know about Stacey.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, stay tuned. We'll talk just now. We'll talk right after this. But for everybody else, have a lovely day, and I'll see you later. Bye.